Hello, hello, hello. This is the Urban Surfer Glenn T. You are listening to another episode of Riding the Wave. Thank you again for tuning in. Glad you guys have been reaching out once again. All the suggestions, comments, all of your questions, I have been looking them over. Episode will be coming soon to address these matters. If you're just tuning in for the first time, I'm the Urban Surfer. This is Riding the Wave. You can see me featured on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, SoundCloud, YouTube, Spreaker, Spotify. If you want to contact me, I do have a Facebook at rtw.podcast. I do have a Twitter at Glenn_town, and my Gmail is ridingthewave.podcast@gmail.com. Once again, thank you for tuning in. More venues to come. Website is coming soon. Today's topic, something very simple, but something that people tend to overlook. You know, we all have our own premonitions about ourselves and other people, but I really have a question for you guys to answer today. My question for you out there is, are you too honest? Do you tell the truth too much? I know that is a weird statement. 2019, nobody trusts anyone else. There has to be a time where you lie, right? I mean, everybody tells little white lies and such. But at the end of the day, do you find yourself to be too honest? What makes a person too honest? Is there even such thing? Are you too honest? I mean, that means you just pretty much tell the truth whenever you have the opportunity to tell it, as opposed to manipulating the situation a little bit. But I wonder if that is considered being too honest, or if that's just being honest. What do you think? Any suggestions, questions, comments? I want to know what you think about if there is a such thing as are you too honest? Because sometimes a person could just read things in black and white. Hey, I'm a truthful person, I tell the truth. Or I don't tell the truth so much, so I'm not as truthful. Now, to an honest person, is there such thing as too honest? Or do you have to be dishonest in the first place in order to think of something as too honest? Is it dishonest to pick up change off the floor when nobody's looking? Is it dishonest to park at somebody's parking space after they left the meter? What is dishonesty? What is honesty? Is it subjective? Is it objective? Where do we get it from? Again, these perceptions are my own. These are my opinions, my realities, my truths. My mission is only to change one mind a day in a positive way. So if you ask me, the Urban Surfer, what do I think? Are you too honest? I feel honestly speaking, right? I don't have an issue with telling the truth, even if it's against me. Have I always felt this way? Absolutely not. But I feel this way now. How did I get there? I just got tired of making a person more powerful than I am. That's how I got there. You're allowing somebody power when you feel that you have to tell them a lie. White lie, black lie, gray lie, whatever color you want to name it. I mean, these are just to soften the blows or to give it credence on any levels or whatever. So since the majority of the world more than likely feels that there is a such thing as being too honest, that'll lead me to my next question. When should you ration your truth? There has to be a level of convenience to telling the truth, a benefit even. So for those of you tuning in, are you too honest? Honest question deserves an answer. Majority of the world probably feels that there is a level. So it just brings me to my next question again. When should you ration your truth? When is it a time to not tell the truth? I know a lot of people say, hey, if it's life or death, you know, if you have to lie, go ahead and tell a lie. What if you die anyway? What if the very last thing that you do is lie and then die? Was it worth it? Could that truth have prevented your death? Possibly, possibly not. What are you doing in the first place to get yourself in that scenario where you have to lie your way out to save your life? You're probably going to be the exception and not the rule in this case. Anyway, so when should you ration your truth? You know, people fudge their resumes. People tell little white lies about their whereabouts to people that they care about, or just to thwart some type of oncoming punishment. People lie and say, hey, I was in line first. Oh, yeah, that's my dollar on the floor. But when should you ration the truth? I mean, when is the truth something to be used, right? I mean, it does exist. It is convenient at times as well. I've seen a lot of people use truths when it comes time to fight. Yeah, that person did say that. Yeah, you're right. That was the person that did this to such and such and who. I mean, the truth comes out then, right? When you're about to see that brawl, you know, the first day of the summer or something like that. Or the truth mysteriously comes out when you guys commit a crime with a bunch of people and you're the one caught. All of a sudden, honesty is the best policy, right? Wrong. If you're honest, you're honest. If you're not, you're not. Lay in the bed and, lay in the bed that you make. I feel it requires a lot of courage, to be honest. I like being considered brave. I like being considered alpha, macho. These things, I feel, come with the truth. I mean, you don't have to have these characteristics, but it certainly polishes your character when you add honesty as one of your features. Just an opinion of mine. I feel that you shouldn't ration the truth. Just go ahead and be honest. Those who deceive themselves, but they don't perceive that. The other person can see you clearly in your lie. The majority of times they can actually see it. I don't know why bodies give off an odor or something to that effect. From my understanding, every time you tell a lie, the angels run from your mouth, right? It's an odor that comes out, but that's neither here nor there. For those people a little less spiritual, when you tell a lie, it just ruins your character, honestly. People lose respect for you even when you're the best dressed in the room. And normally when you're telling a lie, people can tell. You're the only one that feels you're being convincing. You're even convincing yourself. Hey, sometimes you're not. But either way, you're only fooling yourself. I don't feel you should ration any truth. The truth is the truth is the truth, right? Try to say that 3 times fast. But at the end of the day, rationing truth is kind of giving yourself the ability to be honest when it's convenient. When is honesty convenient? The truth of the matter is, honesty is convenient sometimes, and it's inconvenient the majority of times. Who wants to take responsibility for anything? I mean, if you can do something, get away with it, and not take any responsibility, isn't that easy? Isn't that something that's just, hey, you left a mark on the world and you don't even have to pay for it? That's probably going to be the easiest for anybody. But then the absolute opposite of that would be honest all the time. That's difficult. And I think a person deserves credit who can do it. I think you should promote that behavior. Because what's easy is usually not the best thing out. The real path is the one that's less trodden. Majority of people lie, be honest. If you want to be different, be honest. Stop rationing your truth. Stop saying, hey, I'm going to tell the truth because I think it's going to work for me now. It won't work for me then. And you know what's funny? Things tend to backfire when you think too much. And then again, when you start lying, you have to remember everything that you say. I don't know about you, but me, my memory, I can use it for better things. Sometimes it may not serve me best. I don't want to get caught and embarrass myself by saying something that's not true and then getting caught out there. It's not really a good look. I mean, what do you think? Questions, comments? Again, this is Riding the Wave. You're listening to the Urban Surfer Glenn T. Those who want to reach out to me, I do have Facebook, Twitter, and Gmail. RTW.podcast, Facebook. My Twitter is Glenn_town, and my Gmail is ridingthewave.podcast@gmail.com. You can catch me on major sound waves, podcast sound waves at that. So far, I just want to thank again my supporters. So just keeping true to the topic. Are you too honest? I honestly feel that you should be honest at all given circumstances. It just makes you more empowered. It makes you a more noble person. It's a better practice. Now, we all know how I feel about, rationing truth and things of that nature. Just go ahead and be honest as often as you possibly can. Practice that. Just practice being honest as often as you possibly can. Now, for those people who already have that challenge where, they just can't actually be honest as often as possible, that leads me to my next question. If you're unable to be honest under just about every circumstance, withholding the truth, maybe not flat out telling somebody opposite of what's happening, but just not telling the truth, does withholding the truth make you a liar? Does withholding the truth make you a liar? What do you think? Is it really that simple? Sometimes you just don't want to include yourself. But do you realize you can't bear false witness? I mean, for those who have respect for themselves, you can't bear false witness. If something's happening to that degree, hey, if you're stuck in a rut and you have to take the chance of telling the truth or lying, and that truth is going to cause you punishment, you might just have to eat that because you should have thought about that walking in it. Again, it builds character if you're honest. Not everybody may agree with me, but my opinions are truly my own. My perceptions, my realities, And my mission is only to change one mind a day in a positive way. So that's something positive. Be honest. Stop withholding the truth. Withholding the truth may not make you a liar to some people, but to others it may. Me personally, I truly feel that when you withhold the truth and you know better and it's in front of you to present yourself and you withhold it, you can potentially be considered a liar. What's important to you? Now, if you're looking to incriminate yourself and this is you versus your freedom, plead the fifth, right? I mean, don't build the case against yourself. You can plead the fifth. They give you that right to exercise, and it is a right to plead the fifth. Does that make you a liar? I feel it doesn't, because it's a right that you have to exercise. And if you're able to plead the fifth, you're not going to hurt anybody. Go ahead and plead the fifth. And this is just for people that are in legal matters. Otherwise, hey, just go ahead and tell all. What are you scared of? What are you truly scared of? Is it the punishment? Is it the way a person's going to look at you after that? What keeps you in a state of fear prevents you from actually telling the truth? Do you think people are going to judge you? Hey, if this person says something, or if this, if you say something that doesn't fit the criteria of being cool, or doesn't fit the criteria of being honest, or being dishonest, or being manipulative, or whatever category that you fit yourself into, ask yourself, who's going to judge you at the end of the day? Who's going to judge you? Is it going to be these people that you're lying around and you're trying to puppet this whole story, or is it going to be God Almighty? I mean, that person's going to go home. That person has to face their own judge. If they were in your shoes, what would they do? People are vulnerable. But who are you to judge? That's why I said don't worry about being honest, because at the end of the day, there's only one judge. What's the worst that could happen if this is just under realistic circumstances, there's no legal matters involved or anything like that, where it's life and death, and you don't feel there's an extreme to either lying or telling the truth. This is conversational, light repercussions. Maybe somebody might stop being your friend. Maybe somebody might think you're not as cool anymore. I mean, who cares? Literally, who cares? I mean, eventually you're going to stop having those friends. They're either going to pass away. There's something else that's going to happen to them. Eventually you're not going to be cool anymore, because trends change and you age. But a person will look at you with respect now if you just told the truth. Remember, nobody here can judge you. Even if they say, oh, this person is this way or this person is that way. I don't think I can deal with this person. I don't think I can deal with that person. Given the circumstance, what would the other party do? What would the other party do? So stop worrying about what everybody thinks. There is no such thing as being too honest. Of course, you're not going to cut off your nose to spite your face. But for the most part, when the exception is not playing the rule, I feel that is just the best way, just to be honest. Get it off your chest. The worst thing can happen is a person may change their ideas about you, and it's probably for the best, because all things that in darkness come to light. We all know that you can't hide forever. Start practicing being honest. It actually helps you with your character. People look at you in a way where they have to respect you and themselves when they're just in your presence. Start showing signs of nobility. I mean, we all have a sense of it at the end of the day. Practice being honest. Practice being noble. Each one teach one. Again, this is Glenn T. You've been riding the wave. I want to thank you again for tuning into this episode. I want you to be safe, be smooth, and get to where you're going. Continue tuning in. I'll keep on having more topics for you. Be well.